The afternoon sun reflects brightly off the waters of Fort Myers Beach. Empty, except for a flock of seabirds gathered on the shoreline. A look at nearby Estero Boulevard offers up the reason why. Destroyed homes and businesses, debris in piles along the roadway. It's destruction that was immediate, the direct result of Hurricane Ian storming ashore. But now, weeks later, the less obvious impacts are being realized. One of them, a potential danger, churning about in the Gulf of Mexico. Florida Gulf Coast University is a 45-minute drive from the beach. Susanna Cogburn is a student at the campus's water school, where she's working on groundbreaking research connecting red tide to hurricanes.
A lot of people think red tide, is formed from runoff, but what we're really looking at is the natural processes of it living inside the sediment.
Sure, she says, runoff is a big factor. All of the nutrients swept up in floodwaters that eventually return to the ocean fuel its growth. But she says there could be another culprit at play, the sediment on the ocean floor. Their theory? When a red tide bloom subsides, its cells filter down and mix with sediment, remaining dormant until another storm stirs them up again. Add in the runoff full of nutrients, and what is already a natural occurrence becomes another full-blown bloom. Cogburn says it's what likely occurred after Hurricane Irma in 2017, and why she and the team at FGCU spent a week collecting samples at sea following Hurricane Ian. This video shows members of the team diving with those sediment traps in hand. Below the surface, the churned-up particles and runoff from land mix with the water to create an eerie, greenish hue. And over everything, a layer of muck and mud that wasn't there before the storm. Back on the ship, Cogburn helps prep the collected sediment and water samples, knowing analysis back at the university lab will likely reveal what the team already suspects. The first phase of testing takes about 2 weeks. Cogburn adds sodium sulfate to remove moisture. Then the samples undergo a filtering process. The leftover sludge is tested. Cogburn expects preliminary lab results to show concentrations of brevetoxin, which is produced by red tide, evidence that lends itself to the theory that the displacement of sediment by hurricanes is a major factor. In the meantime, the water samples the team retrieved were sent off to FWC, and those test results show for sure levels of red tide are in the water from Sarasota County down to Collier, as plotted here on the agency's tracking map. Meaning it's official, the toxic algae is blooming in the wake of Hurricane Ian, sucking up the oxygen in the water, creating the potential for fish kills like this one here, and hazardous breathing conditions on our beaches. Its intensity and duration, now the new question at hand.
It's seeing how long this bloom will stay. We have no real idea of the time range. It all kind of fluctuates. The red tide bloom could be here for 6 months to 2 years.
The hope is, this time around, it's short-lived. Because recovering from the storm's direct impacts already hard enough, a lingering red tide bloom would only slow things down further, creating even more trouble for these already devastated beachside communities. In Fort Myers, Kate McVeigh, Spectrum News.